Scorpio, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click right on the description box below, and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. So here we are, and here we go. So Scorpio, you've had your guard up for a little while, and you kind of feel like you want to drop the defenses and let somebody in. It's been causing you a lot of strain to... I don't want to say you were holding back from this. It's almost like you were pushing somebody away, okay? And you don't want to push that person away anymore. You want to let them in. Yeah. Yeah, you were pushing somebody away for a while. Maybe you didn't even realize you were pushing them away with your actions, but now that you know, you want that to stop. You want to let them in, you want to share some ideas, you want to really express yourself. You want to be vulnerable. You're hoping to find the courage within yourself to be vulnerable to somebody. But you fear where this might take you, you know? You opening up to them opening up to you, feels like it could be something amazing, okay? But as you start to feel out the situation, to gather information, it makes you nervous. So it's almost like you're afraid of what happens if this actually works out, if this union comes together. The reality of the situation is you've been spending a lot of time going inside and contemplating and trying to figure out where things went wrong in the past because you want them to work out this time. So it's almost like if this is a vocational situation, it's almost like you're going back over your portfolio or your resume or your work experience, and you're trying to look where things went wrong so you can avoid things going wrong this time. If this is about a personal relationship, a family member, a friend, or maybe even a lover, you're actually examining all your other relationships and seeing where things went wrong so you don't make that mistake with somebody. So it's like you're going within and looking at your past so you can make some sense and find some wisdom moving into the future. Because ultimately, whether you let this person in or not, you are learning lessons, okay? So these two together tell me that and this is the second time I had to bring up this quote in readings today. So it's like, I think it was Rudolf Stein who said, wisdom is just crystallized pain. So you're going back over the painful moments in your life and you're making sense of them. Instead of saying, why did this happen to me? You're saying, why did this happen for me? Okay? And you're recognizing that learning from your mistakes becomes part of the fabric of who you are. So if you eliminate the mistakes from your past or you ignore the mistakes from your past, you mess up that fabric in one way, shape, or form. So instead, what you want to do is you want to learn from and accept your past. Okay? That's what this guy's doing. You're learning from and accepting your past, and then he generally goes on a journey. So in order to move into the future, you have to examine the past. And the past affects you, but it doesn't have to define you. So you kind of want to control this situation, okay? But be careful of wanting the control of the situation, because when you start taking control of somebody else, or when you are the one constantly steering the ship, sometimes you lose your independence because the other person, it becomes like, So there's a side of codependency where somebody's like, you know, I need you to help me with this, or I need you to fill this void. This is the other side of codependency that we're looking at. You're coming in like, I'll save you. So then that person becomes dependent on you, and you're happy with that person being dependent on you up to a point. You know, you feel good because you can protect or you can provide for somebody. But it gets to a point where that becomes a burden because A, either that person can't really do things without you, or B, you fill that need and then that person kind of loses interest and takes you for granted, and then they find another thing that they're needing and they go elsewhere and look for that. These are real things that have happened to you in the past, and you don't want those things to happen, but you feel like, I need control of the situation so these things don't happen. But that's exactly where the problem lies in the past, because you were in control and the other person depended on you. So start looking at those things in your past, because ultimately, if you maintain this controlling power as you move forward towards this person, you're going to go from calmer waters to choppier waters really fast. And these lessons that you were supposed to learn, it'll just be the same pains that hit you before, you know? The Six of Swords, so you have the Six of Swords in the inverse, which lets me know that you aren't getting off that karmic cycle, that you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Because ultimately, you want the Six of Swords to be in the upright, where you move from the choppy waters to the calmer waters. And as you move forward with the assistance of a friend, you take all the hard lessons that you learned with you, and you know what to do with them this time around. But that's actually in the inverse, telling me that maintaining control of this situation puts this other person dependent on your behavior. And the truth of the matter is, you know, you're in this I'll save you mode, but you can't really save anybody from themselves. Ultimately, you can't save everybody from themselves. Whatever they're going through, they have to put in the work and effort for themselves. You are a band-aid on a bullet hole for this person. So be careful of that. Okay? Really have open and honest conversations about expectations. That's where a lot of people go wrong with friendships, with romantic relationships, and sometimes even in vocational relationships. Because there is no clear definition of expectations on either end, the one person who dominates the energy the one person who controls the situation only enables the other person to maintain a victim mentality. I hope you found the message that serves your highest good, Scorpio, and I'll see you next time.